And David Begnaud is in Pike County, Ohio. Again, David, you've been following this investigation since the beginning. What is the latest here?
The latest is that they're investigating a Mexican cartel as having some kind of involvement in the killings, but that's just one of the motives being considered, Josh. They're also looking at this being a possible revenge killing. Remember, on one of the 911 calls, the sister of one of the deceased victims said to the 911 dispatcher, it looks like they beat the, and she uses an expletive, it looks like they beat the you-know-what out of her. So revenge killing, Mexican cartel, possible drug activity involving local folks, and then potential gang involvement. A lot on the board, Josh, but it's important to point out, investigators really don't have anything solid. There's not one thing that they're chasing. They're kind of just knocking things off and going through everything that anybody's bringing to them. And our law enforcement sources have told us that's because they really don't have a solid lead at this point. And if they do, they're really hiding it well. The
marijuana operations, again, that were discovered, is there a direct link then to Mexican cartels?
Look, I'll tell you this much. Back in 2012, the Attorney General destroyed hundreds, nearly thousands of marijuana plants in this area that were linked to the Mexican drug cartel. The sheriff here in Pike County says we have a real drug problem. 60 Minutes recently did a piece talking about the drug problem in this area. That is not to say the murders are directly related to a Mexican drug cartel or drugs, but the Attorney General has acknowledged those possibilities are on the table.
You talked to Isaiah Jones as well, who was questioned by police. What are people like him, other folks now close to these victims, and I know there are many there, what are they saying about what happened?
You're going to have a tough time getting anybody to talk. You can't even get the extra rodent family members to talk because they're walking around armed, loaded weapons, but they don't want their faces or names on television because they've been told we're worried about you. Other people in town, it's just rumors. I mean, this is a county with less than 30,000 people, okay? Everybody knew the rodents. Everybody knows each other. That's not a cliche here. But a lot of people are not willing to talk, and a lot of people simply don't know. They're sharing one rumor they heard from another person, but I'll tell you this, a lot of people are finger pointing, and everybody who gets the finger pointed at them, we're finding out, gets a call from investigators. Investigators bring him in, question him. Isaiah Jones was one of them. He was taken into custody at gunpoint, detained, questioned for more than 6 hours, and then later released. He broke down in tears when he talked to us. He said, these guys were my friends. I went to high school with Chris Roden Jr. I didn't kill him.
Is there a palpable sense of fear then in this community at this point?
Oh, definitely. Look, there was a Dogwood Festival over the weekend, a ritual festival in the community. And we went, and a woman said to us, she goes, this place would used to be filled with people. But she goes, look at it now. And sure enough, it was pretty bleak. It was not packed as you would expect in a small town where that would be the main attraction. Fearful? Yes. But again, Josh, you are operating in an area where the Second Amendment is favored and loved. Everybody around here is armed.
So then what happens next here, next steps in the investigation?
Look, I mean, they're searching through possible motives. The Attorney General is handling the investigation. The sheriff has asked the Attorney General to bring in his investigators. At this point, we're looking for an arrest. And I really went at investigators to say to them, you keep asking us to tell the public to call in tips, but can you give us anything? Can you tell us about a vehicle that was spotted leaving the scene? Can you tell us about something you found in the woods that may give you an indication or a profile on a suspect? Nothing. Zilch. We cannot get anything from them. That's either because they just don't want to play ball and release anything, or they don't have much of anything.
David Begnaud, thank you.
You bet.